All right, so hi Paola, thanks for being here on time. As always, I'm going to start this class with you. All right, it's 6:01, so we're going to continue working together. All right, but how are you, Paola? Is everything okay?
Yes, teacher.
Great, that's great to know. So let's keep working, please. Last class we were learning about gerunds, right? We know that a gerund is going to be a verb with ing that is not going to be a verb anymore, right? It's going to be a noun, it's going to be an activity. But let's remember now with you, please, Paola, very shortly, when we use gerunds, okay? So what do you remember, Paola? When do we use a gerund?
Mm, when we use
If you remember, there are three main reasons, right? After something, okay, after something, at the beginning, which is working as something else, and after all of one type, okay? What do you remember? There are three ways in which we use gerunds.
as a object or subject.
Both are correct. You use gerunds as subjects and you use gerunds as objects, right? Give me please one example, Paola, using a gerund as subject. Remember, it has to be at the beginning, then you need to use another verb, and then the complement. How can you use a gerund as a subject, Paola?
Mm, swimming is a good exercise.
Correct, perfect. Yes, that is a great example, right? Swimming is a good exercise. Very good. That's a subject. What about object? If you want to use a gerund as object, Paola, right? It has to be after something. After what?
Um, After a verb.
Yes, that's one way, correct. After any verb or after a specific verbs, Paola.
Okay.
What do you say? Which is the correct option? It has to be after any verb or it has to be after only specific verbs. What do you say?
Mm, only on specific verbs.
Yes, correct, right? For example, want, you never use gerund after want, right? You never say, I want going to the party, right? That's incorrect. You have to say, I want to go to the party. But what verb do you remember that you can use with gerunds, Paola? What verb can you use? And after the verb, you can use a gerund. What verb do you remember?
Mm, enjoy.
Okay, good. That's correct. Give me, please, and we'll finish with that with you, Paola. One example, please, using a gerund after enjoy.
Mm, I enjoy listening to music.
Correct. Exactly. Thank you very much, Paola. That's correct. Right? It means that if you say I enjoy to listen is incorrect. If you say I enjoy listen is incorrect, right? Even in speaking, the only possible option is I enjoy listening to music. Great. Thank you, Paola. I'm going with you now, Wilson. So, Wilson, with Paola, we got to see and review because this is something we did last class, right? That we can use gerunds as subject, okay? And we can use gerunds as object after some verbs. For example, enjoy, recommend, suggest, can be finish, dislike, avoid. Okay, after all those verbs, we use gerund, right? I avoid eating. I dislike going. I enjoy partying, right? Anything with ing. But there's one more rule, Wilson. What is the third rule? What do you remember about gerunds?
after the prepositions.
Correct, that is correct. Yes, after all prepositions, right? After all prepositions. Try to give me, in this case, because it's going to be the only one, Wilson, try to give me 2 examples. What examples can you give me using gerunds after prepositions?
I can't avoid thinking about her.
Good. Now, where is the gerund in that part, Wilson? What do you say? Where is the gerund in your example?
Thinking.
Okay, so let's repeat the example one more time, please.
I can't avoid thinking about her.
Okay, it is correct, Wilson, but you are not using the rules for prepositions, right? You are using the rules for verbs. For example, avoid is a verb, right? And you say, I can't avoid thinking. So after avoid, you use gerund. Why? Because avoid is a verb that uses gerunds, right? But what about after prepositions? What example can you give me, Wilson, in which you use the gerund after the preposition, after any preposition?
About and I can't remember.
Okay, let's do something, Wilson. You use one expression, thinking about. The only thing you have to do, Wilson, is that after about, you have to tell me an activity that is a gerund. For example, how can you say this one, Wilson? How do you say, no puedo evitar pensar en ir a la fiesta? How do you say that?
I can't avoid thinking to go to the party.
Good, close. But again, we think you only use 2 prepositions, Wilson. We think you only use of or you only use about. Okay, so it's going to be, I can't avoid thinking about going to the party. Or you can say, I can't avoid thinking of going to the party. Okay, only one of those 2. If you use any other preposition with think, it's also going to be incorrect or it's going to sound weird. All right, let's repeat that idea, please, Wilson.
Teacher, sorry, but I cannot do it right now. I'm in an emergency.
All right, don't worry, Wilson, but try to check. Remember that all these videos are recorded, Wilson. You can watch it. In case you have questions, you're going to let me know. All right?
Good.
Let's do it. Okay, good,
you.
very good. Great, no, you're welcome. So let's try to work this last one with you, please, Larissa. Larissa, with Paola, we got to see subjects and gerunds after verbs, right? You use gerunds as subjects, for example, going to the gym is healthy, right? Or is good for my health. Or after some verbs, I enjoy going to, I don't know, that place. I suggest going to that university, all right? And with Wilson, we were checking the rules after prepositions, but we need to practice that one, Larissa. So can you give me another example in which you use a gerund after any preposition? Let me know, please.
With preposition, I don't remember.
Remember that a preposition is going to be any of these words, Larissa. It's going to be in, on, about, for,
Okay.
of, all right? And after those prepositions, you always use the gerund if you want to talk about an activity.
Okay. Um, I spend time on I don't remember.
Let's try to do it with this, Larissa. If you remember, we have an extra document, right? That is verbs and prepositions. Again, sometimes it's important to know the connection, all right? Because you only use some prepositions with some verbs. For example, let's use this one over here, Larissa. You have to say that you admire a person for doing something, but instead of doing something, you give me any action, right? And here you have to use gerund because it's for. So what example can you give me with this structure, Larissa?
I admire I admire the chef for cooking.
Yes, it is correct. You admire the chef for cooking very well, right? Or for cooking so fast. Any action, all right, Larissa? For example, one more, please, Larissa. It's going to be with this one. This is a very common one, Larissa. Apologize to someone for doing something. What
Okay.
other example can you give me with that
one? She apologized to her sister for stealing.
If it's present, then it's going to be stealing. For stealing.
Okay. For stealing her cake.
Okay, good. That is correct. Only one detail over there, Larissa. If you say she apologized, it's going to be like present, right? Only present, but like a routine. But how do you say that in past? Because I think your idea is going to be in past. What do you need for being past?
She apologized.
Good. And instead of it, it's only going to be apologized. Apologized.
Apologized.
Good. With that change, please. Only one more time, repeat the idea, Larissa, with that change, please.
She apologized to, I say that too?
Yes, correct.
Her sister for stealing her cake.
Great, that is correct. Thank you, Larissa. Good. So those are the rules, all right, guys? And you need to remember, you know that you can use gerunds as subjects. You can use gerunds after specific verbs. You have the list of verbs, right? I also shared a link on Monday, and you can take a look at that list and apply the rule, okay? And you use gerunds after all prepositions. Of course, you don't always use like a gerund after a preposition because, for example, here, right? I apply to that university for, I don't know, it has to be only something, but it doesn't have to be necessarily a gerund. It can be only an object, or it can be only a noun, all right? Or only a noun. For example, also here, approve of something, okay? Approve of the permission, approve of the request, but you don't use always gerund. But if you want to talk about an activity, you have to use a gerund, all right? And again, take a look, please, at this document. It's going to be important that you know what prepositions you use after some verbs. Decide on, depend on, discuss with, right? Distinguish, from, dream of, or dream about, right? And this is the same for think. I don't know if it's here. Over here. It's not here, but it's the same. With think, you only say think of, think about, right? It's never going to be another preposition, only that preposition. So this is the review. Please don't forget to take a look at those elements, all right? But with that, then gerunds is done. If you have any questions or comments, you can let me know. But today we have to start with this new unit that is going to be not a hard one, that is models of possibility. All right, so let's introduce ourselves to these models that you know, or you know how to use these ones. You've learned about these models before, but it's going to be again to review. So let's do it, please. I'm going to start in this case with you, Daniel. All right, let's talk about this one, Daniel. What comes to your mind when you read possibility? How can you express a possibility in English, Daniel?
Possibility. The things that we can do, or someone can do, might do. Will be
Correct. So in the best model over there is going to be might, for example, right? What example can you give me using might to state possibility, Daniel?
okay. It could be when we ask for permission or for help, or for example, might I help you with the homework? Could be.
Okay. In that case, but if you analyze, you're going to use may, and more than possibility, right? That's going to be like, as you were saying, right? Permission or request or offerings, right? May I help you? I'm offering help, right? But what about possibility? Possibility is going to be one idea when you don't know what's going to be the outcome, right? And more than offering something, you are guessing about another situation that is external to you, right? That is not part of you. So
Okay.
again, one idea that states possibility about something that you don't know and you are not involved there, perhaps.
Okay, this is weekend. I may go to the stadium, but if it will rain, maybe not.
Okay, correct. Very good, right? So in that case, it depends on the weather, perhaps, and it's only a possibility. It's not 100% for sure that it's going to happen, right? Good. So you mentioned too, Daniel, it's going to be may, could be might. There's one more. What is a third one that you can use also for possibility that is not going to be can? Can, it's possible as well, but there's another one that is better.
I don't know if it's could or shall.
Good. It's going to be cool, right? Could. Why? Because shall is mainly going to be used only for questions, shall, or for suggestions, and should for recommendations or also advice, right? So could. Let's to finish this one with you, Daniel, please. One more idea, please. One more possibility using could as the main model.
Okay. If only I will be 5 centimeters taller, I could use the roller coaster.
Thank you very much, Daniel. That's a very interesting example, right? If I were, perhaps you can use that idea as well, right? Only if I were, or if I were 5 centimeters taller, very good, right? I could use the roller coaster. And in that case, you are mixing possibility with conditionals, right? But I think it's very good, Daniel. Great, thank you very much. We're going to go to the next part. Very good, so models. As you can see, these are the three that Daniel mentioned, which are correct. Let's read this one with you, please, Paola. Models.
There are three main models of possibility: may, might, and could.
Thank you very much. So correct, right? May, might, here they are going to be the same. I may go to the party. I don't know. I might go to the party. I don't know. I could go to the party or I could stay home. The only difference between may, might, and could is that with could, usually you have other options, right? And with may and might, not necessarily, but you don't know. You simply don't know, right? But all of them are going to be for possibility, as we worked with Daniel in those examples. Remember, the only thing you need to remember here is that with models, you always use the base form, right? It doesn't matter if it's present, past, future, always the base form. I could go, I may go, I might go, right? You never say, I could to go, I could going, right? No, only the base form, and it's going to be correct. It's easy to work with models, all right? Now, the function, this is going to be for you, please, Larissa. Let's read about function.
Function. We use these models to describe a possible actions. Because of the uncertainty, these models are often used to talk about the future. So sometimes we want to express possibility in the present.
Thank you very much, Larissa. Only this word was very good, right? Though it was perfect. This one is going to be more like uncertainty, uncertainty.
Uncertainty.
Great, thank you, Larissa. Good, so uncertainty means that you don't know. It means that you are not sure. And if you are not sure, right, you can only talk about possibilities. It can be about present and it can be about future. Okay, if you say, for example, I may do it now or I may do it tomorrow. Okay, so these examples, please, Paola, Wilson, Daniela, and Larissa, these are only for present and future, mainly future. All right, these are not going to be for past. These are not past possibilities. All right, it's going to be only present or future possibility. That's important. All right. Now we have a lot of examples here, and we're going to work examples with you, speaking and then writing. This one, I don't know if you're able to read, Wilson. Let me know, please. If you are, you're going to read this one, but let me know if you can read it, please. No, all right, it's okay. Wilson, are you there? Can you read this one?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can. I may go traveling next year. Future possibility. My case might be in the car. Present possibility. They might attend the awards ceremony tomorrow night.
Okay, thank you very much, Wilson. The only detail is going to be this one, right? The stress is going to be over here, like award, sorry, not over here, in the last part, okay? Like awards, and this A becomes like O, okay? Just that one, Wilson, good. So, as you can see, it can be future. I may go traveling next year. It can be present. My keys now might be in the car, or any other reference but to present or future. Let's keep reading this one, please. The next one is going to be for you, Daniel. Let's read these two ideas here, please.
Oh, sorry, teacher. I was muted. He could call you back tonight. We could choose a new color of paint for the bedroom.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. So in the examples we could, right, you usually have options. He could call you back tonight. You don't need to need the second option, but usually you can have options with could, right? Or we can choose a new color of paint for the bedroom, right? And again, that's option, and that's possibility. All right, so could is a little bit more open, and it's at the same time more specific. All right, may and might can be very general, and it's really when you don't know and you don't have options perhaps. And the last part is going to be for you, please, Paola. Let's read this one, please.
I might enjoy you if I finish early. The results of the study may set some light on this condition.
Okay, thank you very much, Paola. Only these two words, please, this one and this one, and we're going to try to understand what is this one. All right, so this is going to be more, a little bit more like results, and even more like and o. Let's repeat that one, please, Paola. Results. Good. And this is only going to be like shed. All right, shed. All right, good. So to shed some light, all right, shed some light on something is to create understanding there. Okay, or in other words, like in Spanish, to put some light, to put knowledge, to make that a little bit more understandable. Okay, when you shed some light on something, it means that it's clearer and it's easier for you to understand that idea. All right, or yes, it's clearer. Okay, it's clearer and more understandable. All right, also you can use that with liquids sometimes. All right, something that you produce. For example, when you cry, all right, you can shed a tear. All right, that's to shed a tear. So it's something that is coming out or something that creates something else. Okay, but let's work. Again, if you have questions about the vocabulary, let me know. But now I would like to work with some speaking. It's going to be easy. I did this with you before, Daniela and Larissa, right? Because with you, we already worked these models. So now again, we're going to practice a little bit. You're going to tell me about future plans, but only possibilities. And you're going to tell me 3 future plans. All right, 3 future plans. One of them is going to be with may, the other one is going to be with might, and the last one is going to be with could. All right, 3 possibilities about your future. Now, we're going to do this randomly in order to play a little bit as well. All right. So I'm going to use this one over here. I'm going to introduce your names. All right. And it's going to be random. I can select, but let's do it randomly. All right. So that I don't choose who's going to start. Let me change the language to English. And I'm going to write your names. Okay. This is going to take 1 minute. So over here, I have your name, Paola. I have your name, Larissa. All right, I see you there. Danielle and Wilson, right? And Wilson is also Daniel, right? But it's good, Wilson. So Paola, Larissa, Daniel, and Wilson. Let's do this randomly. Okay, so the person that is selected is going to be the one that is going to tell me possibilities for the future. Okay, plans for the future, but as possibilities. Okay, it seems that it's you, Larissa. So again, let's do the following, please. Give me 3 plans for the future that you have, Larissa, but only in the form of possibilities, because you are not sure if they are going to happen. So what do you say?
I could start a new class.
A new one more time, please, the last part, Larissa.
A new class.
Okay, but if you say like in plural, right? Remember, you don't have to use the article a. So how would it be?
I could start new classes.
Okay, and when? Give me a future reference to understand that as
Uh,
a future activity.
the next month. In
All
the
right.
next month.
And remember, right, if you say next month or last month, it's better if you don't use the, right? In English, it's better if you mention that just as
Okay, okay.
generally, right? So one more time, please, Larissa.
Okay, I could start new classes next month.
Okay, good, very good. If you already registered yourself, Larissa, start could be a good option. But if you didn't register and you are not sure if you want to have those classes or those courses can be better, Larissa, then you can say, I could take a new course. All
Okay,
right.
okay.
To take a new course is to register, all right, to be part of that course, but as a new student. But if you say, if I start or to, sorry, to start classes, it means that you are already part of the course and you only need to decide when to start the first class. All right, that's going to be the difference. All right, so good. Well, two more, please, Larissa, two more. It was with could, or sorry, two more with the other two models, please.
Okay. I may um, dinner chicken tonight.
Something is missing. I may, you may what? You need an action.
I may eat
Correct.
eat
Very good.
chicken in the dinner tonight.
Good. Uh-huh. Instead of the in the dinner, again, that's not incorrect, Larissa, but that's not common. It's better if in English you say for dinner.
For
Okay, I
dinner.
could eat chicken, right, for
Right,
dinner
right.
tonight. Okay, so one more time, please.
Okay. I may eat chicken for the dinner tonight or for dinner tonight?
For dinner, directly
For
for dinner.
dinner tonight. Okay.
Great. Very good. And the last one, please, Larissa.
I might um, I might go I might go a trip this weekend.
Go, then after go, you're telling me the time? Or what is the thing that you're telling me after go, Larissa? One more time.
Go a trip or only travel.
Okay, all right. It depends on the expression, Larissa. If you say go, it's better to say to go on a trip. Okay, on a trip.
On a trip. Okay.
Exactly. So one more time with that idea, please.
I might go on a trip this weekend.
There you go. Perfect. I think it's very good, Larissa. I don't have observations. I don't know if you have any questions about using these models.
No, no, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see then who's going to be next. All right, it says also drag, right? This is to drag. If you grab something, you drag. Okay, so Paola, it's your turn, right? Again, the same thing, please, Paola. Tell me three future activities that are possibilities for you using could, may, and might.
Okay. I might go a wedding next weekend.
Okay, good. Only one thing, instead of go a wedding, right? You need the preposition to, right? Go to a wedding.
Okay.
All right, the preposition to. One more time with that preposition, please, Paola.
I might go to a wedding next weekend.
Okay, very good. The next one, please.
Mm, 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 mm. I might. Mm, I might call my friend after class.
Okay, it is correct. I might, or you can say may, right? I might or may call my friend after class. It is still a future possibility, so it's correct, Paola. Very good. One more, please. The last one, Paola, using could as possibility.
Mm,
And remember that also can be about like far away future, right? It can be about next year, or it can be in 2 years or in 5 years. Okay, so it can be about near future or a distant future. That's up to you. Okay, so one more. Any of those futures, Paola, using could.
okay. Mm, I could visit my uncle. mm, mm, I could visit my uncle um, next year.
Yes, it is correct. If it's possibility, Paola, it is correct, right? You can even give me specific months if you want, right? In December or in January next year. But next year is more than enough because remember that it's only possibility and you don't know, but you believe that it's a possibility, right? That's it, Paola. I don't know if you have any questions about these models. Let me know, please.
It's okay, teacher.
All right, thank you. Let's continue, all right? Only two, but it doesn't matter. Let's do it this way. So, Wilson, I know you told me, right, that you're with something. Let me know, please, if it's possible for you to participate, Wilson.
Yeah, I've done with my emergency.
All right, good. So let's work on that, please, Wilson. Again, tell me three ideas for the future, right, in the form of possibilities using might, may, and could, please.
Okay. I could invite her to dinner tonight.
Very good. That's one.
Um, I might um, cook um, spaghetti with my wife tomorrow.
Very good. That's two. The last one with may, please, and try to work this last one for a distant future.
Okay. We may take vacations the next year with my family.
Very good. Usually when you say, even if it's in Spanish, right, like vacations, sometimes it's usual to only say vacation, all right, to take a vacation and then the next idea. All right, just that one, please. With that correction, Wilson, one more time, please, that idea.
Okay. We may take a vacation with my family the next year.
Okay. Very good. Thank you very much, right? With your family, and then the next idea. I don't know if you have any questions about using these models of possibility, Wilson. Let me know, please.
No, no, teacher.
All right. Thank you. And let's finish this one with you. You're welcome. Daniel, please, right? You're going to be the last one over here, but let's give the 3 ideas, please, Daniel, about future using these 3 models. You already told me some examples, Daniel, but let's do it one more time, please, in order to practice.
Okay. I may buy a car this year if everything goes well with the business. Then I might give my dog a shower if the weather gets hotter tomorrow.
Very good. Great
Uh,
so far.
I could travel to Europe in December if my papers are ready by that date.
Okay, very good. Only one question. It was not clear. What is the preposition that you're using before the month?
On December.
All right, so there, if you don't use a specific date, for example, on December 21st, then you only use in. All right, so it's going to be in December, or it's going to be on December 25th. All right. If it's a specific on, if it's not a specific, only in. Just that one, Daniel. I think the examples were very good. I don't know if you have any questions or comments.
No, teacher. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. There you go. So again, and before leaving, we already practiced, but here you have some interesting vocabulary, right? It's interesting because you need to know, and well, I don't see the message. I don't know why. Let me spin it. Okay, and I'm going to eliminate this one. Okay, so here, for example, right? Let's try to understand these words. I don't know that you understand the words, but it's important, again, if you want to be better at speaking or improve your English, right? It's better to use more words to describe these words. For example, this is an object, right? And this object has a name, and the action that you do with this object has a name, right? That can be this one or it can be this one. All right, so let's try to understand this together very shortly, because the topic is only that, what we practiced. All right, so it's not hard models of possibility. Let's take advantage and doing this. I have the next presentation ready, but in order not to go from presentation to presentation, all right, let's play a little bit with these words because it's important. So if I go to you, and this time I'm going to go with you, please, Larissa. Larissa, how can you explain the word drag or the verb drag? For example, what do I do here if I want to spin this one? What is to drag something?
Drag is like press, continue, maybe. Well.
Okay, one more time. What is to drag? One more time, please, Larissa.
Like press the well and to down, maybe.
Okay, all right. So you can say, let's try to use these verbs. It can be press, but sometimes press is only to push, right? To push.
Okay.
But it's better if you say grab. Okay, what is to grab? To use your hand to grab something and pull it down or pull it towards you. Okay, for example, here I'm grabbing this and I'm pulling it down, right? So you can use the verb pull also to pull down something or to pull it to you, all right? Like saying jalarlo hacia ti, all right? Or also we can say is to grab something and move it from one place to another place. All right, so drag. I'm dragging the wheel over there, but sorry. Good. So let's try to explain one more time, please, Larissa. Try to use those words: grabbing, pulling down, or you can say grabbing from one point to another. Let's explain one more time, please, that word, Larissa, grab.
Okay, drag, it's mean like pull on the wheel to down.
Sorry, Larissa, it's better if you use pull down as a phrasal verb. And if it's a phrasal verb, they are going to be together or only divided with an object. So you can say, is to pull down the wheel.
Down the wheel, okay.
Good. Or to grab the wheel, right, and pull it towards you. Okay, and it's jalarla hacia ti. All right, so let's also repeat that one, please, Larissa. To grab the wheel and pull it towards you.
Is ground the wheel and pull it. What is the other word?
Toward. Towards means hacia.
Towards. Okay. Grab the wheel and pull it towards you.
Towards you. Good. And only one little correction there, Larissa. As this is double E, it's not going to be like we, it's going to be only like E. Wheel. Okay, only like wheel. Good. Very good. Thank you, Larissa. All right, very good. So that is to drag, right? To drag something is to grab the object, okay, and take it from one point to another, right? To pull it down, to pull it towards you, right? That is to grab. Usually you use your hands or an object to drag something, right? Now, wheel, you know what is a wheel. You can see the wheel, but let's see how you can explain wheel. And this is going to be for you, Daniel, please. How can you explain this noun, wheel?
Wheel. Well, it's common to know it as a part or as an object of car, of a motorbike or motorcycle or a bike. So it's an object that it has a circular shape, could be, yeah, shape. It's okay. And what else? Yeah, that's the main adjectives for it.
Very good, very good. My only thing over the recommendation, instead of that word circular, all right, it's going to be like a circle, but it's better if you, when you talk about shapes, if you use the word round, and you can say a rounded shape, okay,
Rounded.
like a rounded,
Okay.
exactly. Very good, great. Only questions, because this is obvious, I know, Daniel, but how many wheels does a car have, Daniel? How many wheels does a car have?
The main wheels are 4, and a car, it's necessary to have an extra wheel for emergencies.
Okay. Good, very good. Usually, right, the wheel also has like a name. How do you call, for example, llanta in English? How do you say that idea?
I don't know. I was thinking it was a wheel.
Okay, yes, actually, the thing inside, right, that's going to be like the wheel. Also, the thing inside the car, it's a wheel. And you can say, yes, that the car has 4 wheels, and that's correct, okay, that's perfect. But if you want to be specific with even the objects around it and the material, you can say the tire, okay, tire,
Okay.
like very close to being tired, right, to being tired, but only tire. For example, if that's tire, how can we say that idea that you said, Daniel? And this is just for extra vocabulary. How do you say llanta de repuesto?
The extra tire.
All right, that's one way of talking about that. But if you want to talk about something that is auxiliary, all right, it's better if you say spare. Okay, it's a little bit weird, but that's going to be the one name. Okay, it's in the chat. So you can say the spare tire. It means that it's a tire that you can use in case you need it. All right, an extra tire, as you were saying. That's it, Daniel. I don't know if you have any questions about these words and this vocabulary.
No, teacher, it's clear. One more question. What about the frenos? Frenos.
Ah, that's the brakes, right? The brakes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. You're welcome. Good. So that's it, right? Drag, wheel. As you can see, you can apply this to anything. Again, thank you, Daniel and Larissa. And I'm only going to ask one more, but this is going to be fair. So let's decide. Okay, let's decide who's going to participate now. But only it's going to be with you, Paola, and Wilson. All right, 3 items at least. Okay, so I choose. All right, so if not, I'm going to choose. And with this, all right, we go to finish the lesson. If we can, we work on the introduction. But again, as we're working in advance, we are playing with these words a little bit. All right, so this is for you, Wilson, and it's about this word. Actually, let me show you. Spin. All right, what is to spin something, Wilson? What do you say?
Spin is like rotate or turn around a point.
Good, very good. And when you spin, usually, do you move to different places or do you turn around the same area and location?
The same area.
I think it is very good. All right, it is great, Wilson. Let's try to use it only in one example. What example can you give me using a spin?
My my little brother spins around me. Spins around me.
Okay, good. With third person, right? Spins. Good. My little brother spins around me, right? Or you can say that also in present continuous, right? It's a spinning around me if that's happening at that moment. So I think that's good, Wilson. I don't know if you have any questions. I think it was easy for you to explain that one. Do you have any comments or questions? Let me know, please.
No, not teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. So there you go. All right, those are words again. It can be simple for you, but it's important that you little by little, right, get those little words that can be useful for any situation. Okay, but let's keep going. You already work with the examples. We are only going to read this information. This is going to be for you, please, Paola. Negative sentences.
Okay, use may and might for negative sentences. We don't use could in negative sentences because it turns into an impossibility. I might not go to the party. Possibility, correct. I couldn't go to the party. Impossibility.
Thank you, Paola. So it means that if you want to give a negative idea for possibility, don't use could, okay? Because could is not going to be negative possibility. It's going to be impossibility. And what is the difference? If you say, I may not go to the party, it means, I don't know, right? I may go or I may not go. But if you say, I couldn't go to the party, that's not possibility. That's directly like saying, no, I can't, right? It's impossible for me to go. All right, so if you want to give again a negative idea for possibility, don't say couldn't. You have to say may not or might not. You're going to give me examples, but something important to remember is that you do not contract may and might, okay? Never. There is no mayn't or mightn't, right? No, it's may not and might not. There's no contractions for these two models. Okay, so with that reminder, let's only give one, okay, one negative possibility. I'm going to start with you once again, please, Paola. What negative possibility can you give me for a future situation in your life? What do you say?
Mm, I may not I may not go to the gym.
That's a negative possibility. And just to practice a little bit more, Paola, why? Why do you think that's a possibility? Why you may not go to the gym?
I may not go to the gym because I have classes all the afternoon.
Okay, okay, good. I have classes all the afternoon, right? So, but it's still a possibility, right? Perhaps you're going to miss classes to go to the gym, but you don't know. You still have to decide, right? Thank you, Paola. Good. The next one is with you, please, Wilson. The same. Only one negative possibility, and try to give me the explanation of why are you saying that in negative.
I might not go to my classes because I didn't pay the internet.
Good. Only two details over there. The example is very good. Instead of go, it's okay to say go. All right, again. But when you talk about classes, it's better when you say, or if you say attend. Okay, I may not attend classes because, and if you use pay, you don't say directly, I didn't pay the internet. You have to say for, I didn't pay for the internet. Okay, or for the internet service. All right, so
Okay,
one more time, please, Wilson, with those ideas.
I might not attend my classes because I didn't pay for the internet.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Wilson. Very good. Daniel, let's go with you now, please. Again, a negative possibility, please, and an explanation related to that idea.
I might not eat that that last dessert portion because I'm full.
Very good. Yes, that's interesting, right? I might not eat that last portion, right, of dessert or dessert portion or slide of something, right? You can give any quantifier. It's going to work very good, Daniel, because I'm full. And this is, again, something extra, Daniel, just to have extra vocabulary. What is another way to say full, that you are full? Because it's valid. But how do you say that idea in different words? It's a word composed of two words.
I'm satisfied and out.
Okay, close one in terms of phonetics is close, is going to be fed up, right? I'm fed up.
Fed up.
All right.
I heard that.
Exactly. And fed up can be literal, Daniel, like in this case, right? You ate a lot and you are fed up. It means that you cannot eat anymore. Or also to be fed up, Daniel, is when you cannot stand something, right? And you say, I'm fed up of this situation. I cannot stand it anymore. All right,
Fed
so
up.
fed up, right? F-E-D, then space, U-P. Okay,
Right.
fed up. There you go. Good. Thank you, Daniel. That was something extra. Thank you very much. And I'm working with you, please, Larissa. Again, one negative possibility with an explanation related to it.
I might not travel this winter break because I don't have enough savings.
Right, very good. It's very interesting vocabulary, Larissa. Winter break, savings, right? You can only talk about money, but if you mention your savings, it means you're going to use that money for doing something else. So I think it's great, Larissa. Thank you very much. Good. Thank you, guys. I think you're working very good with this one, right? I told you this is only these three forms, may, might, and could. Remember that only in negative, you don't use could. Why? Because it's not negative possibility, it's impossibility. All right. And remember also, you never contract may and might. Right? For questions, all right, it's weird, but you are going to use could, mainly could. Because if you use may, as you were saying at the beginning, right, Daniel, if you use may for questions, more than possibility is going to be permission or offering, right? And might is not commonly used in questions, all right? So may in questions is a little bit different. It's not going to be possibility. Could be, all right, but it's not common. But let's read this idea with you, please. And this is going to be a Wilson. Let's read this one, please. Questions.
Questions. Use could for questions. We don't use may or might in questions. Use regular questions as well. Could that be true? What do you think? Is that possible?
Thank you very much, Wilson. So to ask about possibility, you usually use could, or you can use any other type of questions in which you mention the word possible. Right? So you can say, hey, is it possible for you to go tomorrow? Right? How likely is it for you to go to the party? Or simply, could you, right? Could you go to the party this weekend? Is it possible for you? All right, and let's finish with this, please, guys. Again, you're only going to tell me one question each. Remember, questions for possibility, and that's it. In this case, you can only use could, or if you want, you can use another question, but in which you state that it's a possibility. Okay, for example, is it possible for you to do this and that? All right, so let's start. As I did before, I'm going to start this one with you, please, Wilson. What example can you give me, all right, asking a question for possibilities?
Could in a possibility, could Superman die with another material? No sé cómo se dice aparte o no.
It can be besides from or a part of, okay? A part of or besides from.
Okay, a part of kryptonite.
Okay, good, good. That's a very interesting question for possibility, and I think it's correct. Thank you very much, Wilson. Good. What about you, Paola, please? One question telling me about possibility.
Could it rain later?
It is correct. Could it rain later? It's a question about possibility. You are asking perhaps, or a professional or your friend, right? And you're asking for his or her opinion on that possibility, right? And they can say, yes, it could. It could rain. Look, it's cloudy, so it's possible, right? So it's correct, Paula. Thank you very much. Daniel, let's go with you, please. The same. One question. It can be with could, or it can be another question, but related to possibility. Daniel, what do you say?
Could you run at least 8 kilometers without fainting?
Very good. And very interesting vocabulary as well, right? To faint or fainting in that case because of the preposition, right? Without fainting. I think it works very good, Daniel. Thank you very much. And Larissa, let's finish with you, please. One question for possibilities.
Could he win the competition?
Very good. And remember, it can be that word, or you can say also the contest, right? It's possible to say competition, but it depends what type. Well, usually you compete against someone, all right, and you can win for competing there. Or it's also possible a contest in which you deal with something and you can also win something else. All right, one could be like concurso and the other one like competencia, right? So both work great, Larissa. I don't know if you have any questions about that word between competition and contest.
No, I don't.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks again, all right, to all of you, Paola, Wilson, Daniel, and Larissa. Look, with that, we finished this lesson. We have, if I'm not wrong, this part, but this is not for possibility. And this is something I practiced with you, again, Daniela and Larissa, last course, which is something extra, because this is a review for future tenses. And it's important that you remember when to use will and when to use be going to. All right, it's not part of this lesson. This is something extra that I'm giving you. So if you have questions about will and be going to, you can read this chart and you can understand the differences. And I give you also some other extra expression, right? Be likely to, or be likely that. So it's the same as saying it's possible, all right? It's a possibility. Let's read about this one, please, to finish with this lesson, and then we're going to work, if we have the time, let me check. If we have the time, we're going to work with an introduction for the next one. All right, yes. But let's finish with this one, please. And this is for you, Paola. Extra expressions, please.
Extra expressions. Use be likely to, that, to talk about possibilities. It's likely that I will go there. It's very likely to happen.
Thank you very much, Paola. So here, likely, it's like possible, but it's possible that I'll go there. It's likely, it's possible, all right? So there's a chance that it's going to happen in that way, or it's very likely to happen. It's very possible to happen, all right? And again, it's only an alternative, right? If you don't want to use possible every time, you can use likely. All right, it's likely that I'll go to the party. It's very likely that I'll travel next year. All right, or it's very likely to do this. He is very likely to pass the test. Okay, she's very likely to stay home. So again, after these ideas, you can use to and a verb, or you can use that and a complete sentence. All right, and again, this is something extra that you can learn if you feel that it's going to be useful for you, but it's not part of the lesson. All right, so I'm just giving you that. You can take this information in the presentation, and if you have questions about it, I can help you out. Okay, if you have also questions about the lesson, let me know. Right now, to finish today's class, we have these minutes left. We are going to work on an introduction. And this can be a complex topic, all right, reflexive pronouns. And as this is going to be a little bit complex, that's why today is going to be a short introduction. But the main, all right, the main lesson, remember that this Friday, there's no classes, right? So the main lesson related to reflexive pronouns is going to be on Monday. Okay, but let's have an introduction so that you can practice before Monday's class. Let's start doing it. Perhaps you don't know what's the meaning of reflexive pronouns in terms of grammar, but let's try to understand the words. And in this case, I'm going with you, Wilson. What comes to your mind when you read the words reflexive and when you read pronouns? What do you say?
Reflex pronouns are the nouns. Pronouns. Reflexive, I don't know, it's the same in Spanish. Reflexive. But I remember that me is a reflexive pronoun. Yeah, right?
Me, you're saying M-E, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Me.
me, more than actually, instead of that, if the action is from you to you, it's better not to use me, because me, instead of a reflexive pronoun, me is only going to be an object, okay, because it receives the action. But it's better to use me, Wilson, when someone else is doing the action to you. For example, you can say Wilson, right? She, or you can say Paola is calling me. Okay, so Paola is doing the action and I am receiving the action, so I say me, right? But I'm an object, all right? Now,
Okay.
there is something, Wilson, that you can use to replace me when you are doing the action to yourself. What is that word? What is the word that you use instead of me when you are doing the action to yourself?
Myself?
Myself. Very good. Exactly. So that's a reflexive pronoun. And with that, Wilson, with that idea, if myself is a reflexive pronoun, what other reflexive pronouns do you know? For example, what's the reflexive pronoun for you, for they, for he? What do you say?
I think for you is yourself. For he, himself.
Yes, it is correct. Only one more thing to finish with you, Wilson, related to yourself. What is the other possible way? Because remember that you can be singular and you can be plural. So yourself is for singular. And what's the form for plural?
Oh. Yourselves. I don't know.
It is correct. It is correct. It is great. Okay. Again, sometimes you have to trust, right, your own instincts because it's good. All the answers that you gave me, Wilson, are correct. A reflexive pronoun is myself. The reflexive pronouns for he is him, for you is himself, for you is yourself, and the plural is going to be yourselves. Okay, there's one change in spelling, in writing, but the speaking part is yourselves. All right, up to that part, Wilson. Thank you very much. All right, now having that in mind, you're welcome. Only one more, and it's going to be you, please, Daniel. All right, if we say that yourself or myself, Daniel, is a reflexive pronoun that we use when we receive the action, all right, what example can you give me using any of those reflexive pronouns, Daniel? It can be myself, yourself, himself.
Can you bring me that charger? It belongs to myself, could be? It
In that
belongs to me.
case, yes, it's going to be to me, right? It belongs to me. Why? Because there's no action, right? In that case, there's no action, Daniel. It's only possession, right? It's a subject, belongs to, and then you have me. Okay, so you are not receiving your own action. Okay, to use myself or to use himself, Daniel, the subject has to be one person, it can be you, and the action has to be done to one object. And if you want to use myself, you have to be the subject and you have to be the object at the same time. So how could it be?
Okay. For example, here you have my homework. It was all made by myself.
That is correct. And that there are four ways, okay? There are four ways of using reflexive pronouns. The one that you use is the last one, which is by myself, right? By myself is not the same as myself, but your example is correct, right? What is the meaning of by myself, Daniel? What is a possible synonym or a possible similar expression?
In Spanish, it's like por mí mismo.
All right. And in other words, by myself means alone, without any help.
Okay.
All right, alone and without any help. Good. Let's keep that in mind, all of you. Thank you very much, Daniel. So we have again four main ways. If I'm not wrong, let me check, please, because there is a big explanation there. But we are not going to check all the explanations in detail. Again, today is only the introduction. Today I want to start with the first type, okay? And I'm going to show you, let me see if it's here. Yes, it's the first one, that's perfect. Let's read the definition, please. This one is going to be for you, Larissa. Definition.
Reflexive pronouns are words like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. They refer back to a person or thing.
Thank you, Larissa. So those are the reflexive pronouns, all right? It's important that you have to the word that it's usually for possession, right? It's usually the word for possession. So it's myself, yourself, himself, itself, ourselves. Plurals, right, are not with F, they change to VE. Okay, that's the only change. Ourselves with V, yourselves with V, okay, and themselves with B. All right, that's the only change for plural. Now, today we're only going to take a look at the first one. Remember that this is part of Monday's class, but we are working the introduction today because it can be a little bit confusing, all right, if you don't get the main idea over there, because you can use these pronouns at least in 4 different ways, okay, and the meaning is not going to be the same, and the requirements are not going to be the same. All right, and you're going to see that that can be complex, but it's interesting. So let's work with the first one, and this is going to be for you, please, Paola. Usage.
We often use reflexive pronouns when the subject and the object of a verb are the same. I cooked myself when I was making dinner last night. I hope you enjoy yourselves at the party tonight. My phone isn't working properly. It turned itself off for no reason. We need to believe in ourselves more.
Thank you very much, Paola. Good. Only this word, please, Paola, instead of "ooh," it's going to be more like like cat.
Cat.
Cat. There you go. Thank you very much. Now, this is the first one. I'm going to write the rule here, all right, in our document. Why? Because the presentation is going to help you out, but I'm going to summarize the rules here. Okay, 4 main rules. The first rule is subject and object, okay, are the same. It means, okay, let's give an example. So I, all right, cat myself. That's the first example, right? I cut myself. So the only thing you have to do, please, to be sure that it is correct, you have to be sure that you are the subject. All right, you are the subject. Sorry, guys, you are the subject and you are the object. Okay, the difference between myself and by myself is that by myself means alone, but myself only means that you receive the action. All right, it means that you receive the action. So I cut myself, or he cuts himself, or she cuts herself. Okay, the same. It has to be the same. It can be a little bit more complex, and then you're going to give me only one example to finish. All right, so he and himself. That's the requirement. She and herself. That's the requirement. The other possibility is not directly with the verb, but remember that you can be an object after something like this. Why is this still open? Sorry. This one over here. This. We need to believe in. So to believe in is an action. And who's receiving the action? Also we. So you don't say we need to believe in us. You're going to say in ourselves. All right. So you can use expressions like that. I am looking at myself. All right. In the mirror. Sorry. There you go. Okay. So you are doing the action. What is the action? To be looking at. What is the object? Yourself. All right. And in the mirror is only a compliment. All right, so let's try to do it, please. Let's try to follow this example. This time is not going to be speaking. You're going to write this example to finish, please, today, guys. I'm sharing the link just in case. And it's over here, right, in the chat. There you go. So please, over there, you're going to write 2 examples. Okay, that's going to be to finish today, please. Remember, it has to be the same subject and the same object that is doing and that is receiving the action. All right, try to use examples like this, a little bit with a lot of complement, or at least in the way that you believe it's better. Okay, let's do it, please, guys. 2 minutes, 3, and we are going to check 2 examples, please. And if you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, we check in one more minute, please. All right, let's take a look. And to finish again, we check those examples. I'll show you what we'll learn on Monday, and that's it. Okay, so, but remember, tomorrow we have the conversations, all right? It's only Friday that we don't have those activities. So, I'm going with one of you. Let's see how you're doing. Okay, now, Paola, I'm going with you, and we're going to analyze if it's correct. Okay, let's read your ideas, please, Paola.
Okay, we painted the house ourselves.
All right. The next one, please.
And our cat washes itself after every meal.
Okay, good. Thank you, Paola. So let's analyze. Number one, in this case, it's not going to be correct. Okay, the sentence is correct, but it's not for this type. And we're going to see why. Number two, it's correct. Okay, and why? Let's analyze. In number 7, Paola, right, what is the subject? Our cat. What is the verb? Washes. What is the object that is receiving the action? Also the cat, right? Because itself is the cat, right? So the cat does the action and the cat receives the action, right? That's clear, right? But in number 6, if you realize, what is the subject? We. Okay, we is the subject. It means that we are doing the action. But what is receiving the action? Not ourselves. It's the house. Okay, so it is correct, but it's not this type of reflexive pronouns. Okay, for this type of reflexive pronouns, Paola, it has to be that we do the action and we receive the action, right? But in your sentence, we don't receive the action, right? We only do the action. What is receiving the action? The house, right? And it's different. So what can you change here? Perhaps you can make a change. What can you change to make it correct in this way, Paola? In number 6, you can eliminate 2 words in number 6, and it's going to be correct. It's going to be weird, all right, but it's going to be correct. What do you say?
We paint ourselves.
Correct. If you simply say that, Paola, now it's correct. And remember, your sentence was correct, but that's the second type. Okay, we're going to learn the second type. But in the first type of using reflexive pronouns, you have to do the action and you have to perform and receive the action. Okay, so you can say we painted ourselves in our house, you can say. All right, but the main idea is that you are doing the action and you are receiving the action.
Okay.
All right, do you have any questions up to this part, Paola? Let me know, please.
No, it's okay, teacher.
Okay, thank you very much. Daniel, let's read your ideas, please, Daniel.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Can you hear me, teacher?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. My grandfather cuts his hair by himself. I force myself to study even if I am sleepy. She looks herself when she walks near a mirror.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniel. Now remember, we're only learning one type. In this one type, number 2 and number 3 are correct, right? Number 1 is also correct, Daniel, but remember, that's going to be the 4 option, okay? We're going to learn that on Monday, sorry. So you already know that one. But the difference is that this is not applied to rule number 1. Why? Because it's not specifically that he's cutting himself. He's cutting his hair, all right? But his hair is considered like an object that is part of him, all right? It's part of him, but it's not himself specifically. Perhaps you can say himself if the context is clear, all right? But also if you say here by himself, it's not related to receiving the same action, right? It only means alone. All right, and again, only the meaning is a little bit different, Daniel. But here, I force myself, yes, because you do the action and you receive that action directly, right? But study even if I'm sleepy, right? With double T only this one, sorry, double E. And in this case, she looks, it's okay, but remember that look is not going to be good if you use only look. You need always one preposition with look, and it can be look at, look for, look after, all right? The most common to talk about perception is going to be at, all right? So it's going to be look at. She looks at herself when she walks near a mirror, okay? Only those observations, because here again, right? This is the subject, and the direct receiver of that action is herself, right? And the verb is going to be that one. Just that one, Daniel. I don't know if you have any questions about it. Let me know, please.
How is the number 1 now, teacher? I changed it.
Okay, yes, if you use this, and it's the direct connection, right, Daniel? If you say, my grandfather cuts himself, right, when his hair is long, now it's good, okay? So the idea is the same, Daniel, but here you're putting emphasis that he's receiving the same action, all right? It's just the emphasis, Daniel. The previous idea was correct, but it's only that it was part of a different category, okay? Just that one. It is correct now in this first category, Daniel. I don't know if you have any questions or comments.
No, teacher, everything good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going up to you, please. I work with you guys. Larissa, let's work with you, please, Larissa.
Okay, my brother made a toy himself. We have to take care of our body ourselves.
Okay, thank you very much, Larissa. Now, in your case, Larissa, you are using number 2, all right? And again, we're going to see that on Monday. And that's why it can be tricky, all right? Why? Because look, remember, Larissa, you have to do the action and you have to receive the action, okay? Or the person has to do the action and has to receive. Here, your brother is doing the action, but who is receiving the action, Larissa? The toy, right? If you want to use number 1, you have, the brother has to receive the action, not the toy. Okay, so this is correct again, Larissa, but this is function number 2. And again, we're going to cover that on Monday, all right? The same here, Larissa. If you see, we, this is the subject, we have to take care of our body. Okay, this is still part of you. So, and if you want to use this correctly, again, the only thing we have to do here, Larissa, in order not to use another object, because our body is part of you, Larissa, but it's another object, okay? Only the body. It doesn't imply your mind. It doesn't imply your thoughts, your emotions, only your body. Here, if you want to say this correctly, you only need to do this, okay? We have to take care of ourselves. It means that if you want to use number 1 correctly, you have to be directly, without any other object, Larissa, the receiver of the action. Okay, so we, the action, are taking care of what? Of ourselves. All right, not other object than that one. But what about number 6? To change this one, perhaps you don't make, or he doesn't make himself, right? Perhaps we can change the verb here to make this different, Larissa. What could it be? What can your brother do and your brother receives at the same time, Larissa? So he does the action and he receives the action himself. What can you say in number 6?
My brother's my brother learn to ride a bike.
All right, but if you say that one again, who's receiving the action of learning is learning something else. It's going to only be correct, Larissa, if you say that he learns himself. All right, but remember, he has to receive the action. It means if you say with learn, it means that he's going to learn about himself. All right, remember again, it has to receive. So that is correct. If you say this one, I'm going to write it for you. Okay, my brother learns, okay, sorry, about himself. Now, it is correct. But again, I'm showing you, you can give me a different one. Why? Because he's not learning to do anything, Larissa. All right, because if you say he learns to ride or to drive, it means that he's learning about another object. Okay, but it's not about himself. To use the first one, Larissa, you have to do the action and you have to receive the action, no other object. Okay, so your brother learns about himself. So he's learning only about himself, not about any other thing, not about a language, not about history, not about anything, not about an activity, only about himself. All right, only one more, please, Larissa, to see if this is clear. What other example can you give me saying that one person does an action and the receiver of the action is the same person? Okay, don't use any other objects. It has to be the same object, the same person.
He see herself in the lake.
Okay, good. Exactly, right? There is no an object, right? The lake is going to be something that reflects, right, the image. But she sees, right? She sees herself in the lake. All right, so it's that connection, it's that direct connection, Larissa, between the doer of the action and the receiver of the action. All right, so that is correct. I don't know if you have any questions about this one. We are going to deep this information, Larissa, on Monday. But let me know if you have any questions, please.
Okay, teacher, I don't have.
Okay, thank you very much. And let's finish with you, please, Wilson. Let's read your ideas.
My father surprised himself because he forgot his birthday, and I get over myself doing this exercise.
All right, I think it's working good, Wilson, right? The father is the subject, surprise is the verb, and who's receiving the action? Himself, right? There's no other object in between, right? It's just he doing the action to himself, right? Good. And the same here, right? Well, but I want you to tell me, just to finish this one, Wilson, what is the possible synonym of get over? What do you mean by get over in this idea?
I don't know a synonym. Get over is like superarse, no?
Right. Sometimes it refers to that, Wilson, but mainly when you get over a situation, okay, get it over, right? Get it over. So perhaps if you want to say this in present, can be I get over or I got over, or sometimes you can use, I'm going to give you an option, all right, to overcome. Sometimes overcome is also for objects or situations, okay, but that's an alternative. You can use overcome as a possible synonym. Okay, but that's it, Wilson. I think it's working good. Do you have any questions or comments? Let me know, please.
No, teacher, I don't have.
All right, great. Thank you very much, guys. And again, this is what we're going to be doing on Monday. This was the introduction. But again, you're going to learn the difference between these four. And I'm just going to show you now. Between he, cat, himself. This is past, right? Cat is the past of cat. Between he, cat, it, himself, the meaning is different. Between Peter, himself, cat, it, that's a different meaning. And he, cat, it, by himself, and that's a different meaning. Okay, so these are four different ways to use reflexive pronouns that we're going to learn on Monday. Okay, this is number one that you did with me, all right, today. So, well, that's going to be marked. So on Monday, we're going to learn about this one. You were using this one, Larissa, I think, right? He cut it himself. That's another use. Peter himself cut it. That's another use. And he cut it by himself. And that's Daniel's use, right? And that's the fourth one. So that's going to be, again, the introduction. It was longer, but it's worth learning about that before finishing today's, guys. I'm going to finish the class here, please. As always, I'm going to send you the link, the survey. Let's answer that one, please. And that's it. Thanks for being here. Have a good night and see you tomorrow for the conversation.
Okay.
Bye, teacher. Have a good night.
Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you,
teacher. Bye bye.
Bye. See you. Good night.